Hey guys, here in Southern California to drive the all-new Crown Signia. This video is all about the top-of-the-line Limited. Let's get into it. Don't forget Toyota Jeff, check out his content. We got the TFL guys over there as well. Make sure to check out their content. Look at all these delicious vehicles here. We got Tacomas, we got the new Camry, but this video is about the Crown, so let's stay focused, Kirk. This is Finish Line Red. It is fantastic. It reminds me of infrared on the Lexus Coupes, and I think it's on the IS as well. Very infrared-like. It is fantastic. It looks super clean with these massive 21-inch wheels that we get here on the Limited grade. I like how it also contrasts well with the glossy black that goes around the wheel arches. Now, this Limited grade also comes standard with that pano roof up top. It looks really, really clean. Nice roof rails up there as well. Now, optional, keyword optional here, we have with the advanced tech package sensors, okay? These parking sensors. You can't get them on the XLE, and you don't get them standard here on the Limited either. Now, they only come packaged, to my understanding, with that 360 camera system. So if you want to have that spatial awareness, that you don't have to poke your head out the window like Ace Ventura, or you don't have to use your mirrors, you're going to have to get this advanced tech package here on this gorgeous, my gosh, it looks so good here. This wagon, it's a wagon. Anyways, I'm getting distracted because it's so pretty when the light hits it with this high contrast paint. All right, the rear taillights, they don't pop quite as much with the red on red, since the taillights are partially red, as they do maybe on the Storm Cloud here, or maybe on the base XLE model that's, white. But it still looks really, really clean. And yes, again, parking sensors on the back. They're part of the advanced tech package. Real small Crown logo back here, small Toyota logo. Lifting this up, standard lift gate across all the trim levels. Nice all-weather cargo mat here. You can fold down the seats. Watch my XLE review because I showed that a little bit more in depth of folding down the seats. But you have 6.5 feet of total length of cargo space once you fold down that second row seats. And this is my favorite interior. Look at this beautiful saddle tan. The only other option is this black. And that, for me, is not an option, because this, my friends, this is where it's at. It adds so much more character and life and just beauty into the interior here. The Limited also has this JBL package. I haven't been able to test it. I've been talking too much during my car reviews. Limited also has heated outboard rear seats. How about that? We have mat pockets each side, vents each side, USBs each side. What does this panoramic view look like? It's actually fantastic for the rear passengers. Up front, you got a itty bitty little sunroof. So it's mainly for the rear passengers, but also brings a ton of light into the cabin, which is great for northern climates. If you're in a sunny climate all the time, maybe you don't want to have the Panoroof, get the XLE. All right, look at this interior, guys. Well, in the mountains, right? And maybe Roman and Toyota Jeff, right? We're getting all sort of starstruck right now, but the Crown is so beautiful. Let's fire up. This saddle tan gives it so much more character. I can see that there's even more, like, I don't know if this is true leather right here, but a soft touch saddle tan material that goes around the center column that's real comfortable for your knees. Very Lexus-like, very luxurious, wraps around the dash, kind of gives it that three-dimensional effect. And it also goes behind the dash. And that kind of reminds me of the daytime running lights, how they kind of just like fold into the sheet metal. Super, super sleek here on the interior as well as the exterior. Stitching on the steering wheel looks absolutely fantastic. Of course, these are built in Japan. Memory seats here on this Limited model. Folding mirrors are standard. A little extra flair here with the proactive driving assist and traffic jam monitor, all that stuff. It's not my favorite thing, to be honest. This sensor, we see it on Lexus products as well. I don't need that, but it comes with the advanced tech package, right? It's gonna cost you, what is this gonna cost us, guys? $51,675 after destination. That advanced technology package with 360 camera, the parking sensors, that sort of thing, that is going to cost you 1,800 smackers. special color. This is absolutely worth $400. This finish line red saddle tan. If that was an optional cost, I would pay whatever it was, because this is absolutely gorgeous for these seats. Look at the piping here, the gold stitching on this beautiful saddle tan. I'm gushing over it. So also we have these nice mats here at the bottom, all-weather floor mats, which I don't think that they're on here, but they could be as a standard. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to estimate that. So we're going to go ahead and start driving the all-new Crown Signia in the limited trim. We're here in the new Crown Signia. This is the limited model. We're driving alongside Jared from
Car Buzz.
Yeah, just up the road from me, based out of Orlando. So a little Florida action. We're out of our normal element. We're here in the mountains in the Crown Signia. Jared drove it on the way up the mountain, and it got 22 miles per gallon, pretty much straight uphill with a little bit of CVT whininess.
Yeah, and just droning the whole time.
It was droning, but most people are not going to have that situation. Obviously, we were joking, like we never hear like CVTs drone in Florida for more than just a couple seconds at a time when we hammer the gas. But yeah, driving here, the Crown, I've literally been in here since I started recording, so all my impressions are gonna be pretty fresh here. I did get a lot of butt time in Jared's seat on the way up.
Yep.
It's comfortable. How do you feel over there?
I think it's pretty comfortable as well. One thing I'm noticing more now that I'm not a driver is the lack of headroom.
Yeah.
You know, that's an issue on the Crown Sedan. We were both talking, but seats are very, very comfy.
Sure. Yeah, the seats are good. Now, I had to adjust the seat earlier. I was joking that my legs are a little longer, and I wish there was like a thigh extension here. But even Lexuses sometimes drop the ball in the thigh extension category as well.
They do, and there's no lumbar on the passenger side here, only on the driver's side.
We got a blind, kind of like a blind stop ahead here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get into there it is. They weren't joking. Oh my gosh, these brakes are really smooth.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes with a hybrid, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, weird pedal feel.
Yeah, it's a little spongy. Yeah, Toyota's figured it out finally.
Absolutely, they have.
It seems like with the 4th gen hybrids and later, they've just gotten really, really predictable and a nice like heft to the brake pedal.
Yeah.
The steering here is actually, I thought it was going to be a little bit lighter than what it is, but it's not firm by any means. So like, it's not just cream puff Cadillac steering. And it handles quite well. So we got a little bit of so we got the droniness in for you right now.
Yep, we're going back uphill again. We thought we might be on the downhill part, but
yeah, we thought we already crossed the mountain, but apparently there's more than one mountain. What does Florida boys know about that?
Yes, this is foreign to me.
It would have been nice to have a head-up display, and I think the Crown Sedan doesn't.
Crown Sedan is getting it for 2025.
Is it really?
If it hasn't already, which is interesting because I was talking to the marketing person for this car and the Crown Sedan, and she was saying like we're trying to bring them more like harmoniously together. Like the sedan is going to get leather standard now, even
instead
on
of the cloth. Yeah,
instead of the cloth. So they're kind of trying to bring these two closer together, but they're not identical, which is kind of
it's interesting because we're driving the Camry this week. We already posted those driving impressions in the past, right? We had to wait a little bit longer.
You're watching this in June.
Yeah. Or later. Like the Camry and other Toyota products that are technically sit below this, right in the product stack, get head-up display.
Yes.
And we just don't have that option here. And I think I know it's available in other markets, but Toyota has to protect its Lexus brand.
Yeah,
in some ways.
I think it's that, and I mean, they did offer a ton of standard equipment on this car. Heated and ventilated seats in the front, standard. Heated rear seats, standard.
Heated steering wheel, too.
Steering wheel, standard. So there is a lot. This is a really, like, there's only like a few things you have to step up to platinum for. Bigger wheels, JBL audio, the 360 camera.
Pano roof.
Pano roof.
Now, this one gets me. As a minivan driver without parking sensors, it's not an easy life, and this thing is pretty boaty. I'm going to put on the screen how long this is compared to like a Lexus RX and compared to like a Sienna minivan.
This is longer than an RX. It has the same wheelbase as an RX, which is kind of interesting.
But what gets me is that the only way you get parking sensors on this premium Toyota is with the advanced tech package, which
on top of the limited.
On top of the limited,
Right.
You can't get it on the XLE grade, but that also gives you power folding mirrors and 360 camera, right? As well as a few other safety features that I could care less about, like front cross traffic alert and traffic jam assist. Those things just annoy me.
Yeah, and it only works at like what, 25 miles an hour or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't even tell when it's working half the time.
It's annoying, is what it is. So. Great views. It's definitely a different view than what we typically see here, and that allows for a bit more fun driving. Now, Jared was playing with the paddle shifters earlier
to try and change the ratios to kind of mitigate some of that CVT whine.
Yeah.
Didn't really work, unfortunately.
Now, I'm getting some engine braking here, which is kind of cool. It would have been nice. Gosh, it sounds really bad as it leaves that drum. Yeah, I did. I right. If I hold it, maybe if I hold the paddle or put it back into drive.
Yeah, I think it's back in drive now.
What's this S mode?
So S is just, I think, manual mode.
If I just press and hold.
So now it's an
oh,
S4.
I see.
It's like the old Lexuses that used to not have a manual mode, but they had like S 1 through 4, you know, or 1 through 6 or whatever, and it would just go to that gear. It wasn't even manual, really.
No.
It's just you could pick the highest possible gear.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what this is or not, but it's
I would never ever use it ever,
No.
and I would never use these paddle shifters.
Yeah.
I wish these paddle shifters for the mountains gave us different levels of regen, but Toyota's never offered that.
Most hybrids don't have like super, or at least conventional hybrids that aren't plug-in don't have like super strong regen.
Sure.
But wouldn't you much rather have a head-up display instead of paddle shifters? Like just one of those things that they can trade this for that. Like
there's a few things. Okay. I like how the volume knobs here. I like everything's in the Crown in terms of functionality is fantastic.
But wouldn't it be nice to have play or rewind and fast forward right here, or a tuning knob?
Well, you know, I got those seek buttons right here on the steering wheel.
That's true.
Yeah, so I got that covered here. I still have volume here, but unfortunately this volume is just like you have to keep smashing it up or down. It's not like a volume knob on the steering wheel or a scroll dial.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of extra work that you're putting in, and that can you know, if you're moving the volume, that can affect your driving a little bit. It's just distracting, but it's there. And you can't turn off the radio with it. You know how sometimes volume buttons, so you press it and it turns off the radio? You'd have to, I mean, that's fine because I have this. I can press this and turn it off.
But you have the power logo on this, so if you don't leave it perfectly straight up, you can leave it crooked.
Just put some duct tape on it. You'll never see it. Yeah. See, that doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't like glow during the day. It might at night actually. If it glows at night, that's a fail. But if you blindfolded me, I would think I'm maybe in a RX or NX in terms of the materials. It's really good.
It could be.
The ride quality in here, okay, so on the passenger, you feel less than you do in the driver's seat. And the reason is I get quite a bit of road vibrations and tire vibrations through the steering wheel. And a Lexus does a bit better job at that, I would say.
I mean, I'm not against that. It's a little bit more of a driver's car maybe than the Lexus.
You could say that. It's personal preference. I like it to be removed.
Yeah.
And in a car like this, I want it to be removed. But the steering wheel is like, it feels great. It feels Lexus quality. It's fantastic.
We're riding on 21-inch wheels, and there's no adaptive variable suspension on this car. And it's very soft. It's
pretty soft.
Really well, and it's not too like leany either.
We're on a pretty crummy road right now. I mean, it could be worse, but
I feel it, but it's like it's not like it's you know, just little.
It's acceptable. Yeah.
It's very compliant.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. You know, the Venza and then now the Crown models, they're quasi luxury, and so pricing is a tricky situation. But they're also, and it's like the Land Cruiser as well, right? They're purposely keeping the volume on these low to not only protect themselves, but like so they don't overstep too much on Lexus.
Yeah.
So the Land Cruiser doesn't overstep too much on the GX. I bet the GX will have better sales volume than the Land Cruiser.
For sure, I agree.
Yeah.
It was that way before. The LX outsold the Land Cruiser.
The full size.
Yeah. Back when they were the same model. They're not
exactly. But yeah, now that we're coming down the mountain, when I started this, it was 22 miles per gallon. Now it's all the way up to 30. In flat Florida where we live,
you'll get the numbers.
Easy. Yeah. Easy. Well, if you
38 mpg combined
with the 21s.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually the same with the 19s.
Yeah, it's the same. You don't hurt fuel economy, which is really amazing that they were able to pull that off.
Yeah, it's just EPA. I'm sure you can get better numbers on the 19s.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never had any problems getting Toyota hybrids get their numbers. Like
they get their numbers
versus other ones, and even on the highway.
Here in Florida, especially because it's flat and hot, and they don't have to deal with the cold temperatures of the hills.
Correct.
So it's
But compared to something like a Hyundai hybrid, like I just drove a Tucson hybrid, it does not get the numbers on the highway.
You got it.
In the city,
yeah,
it does.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're Hyundai hybrids, they're really efficient in town.
Yes.
On the highway, they suffer, and Toyota's like, they got that highway fuel economy too, Yeah,
I guess
it's really good.
That's what the trade-off for the CVT drone is that you get the highway fuel economy versus having a geared transmission.
Right, and then if you're on the highway, not going up a mountain, you're not going to have any CVT drone.
Right.
Speaking of CVT and transmissions, the standard Crown sedan has the Platinum grade, which has a hybrid max, which has a 6-speed auto and a bigger turbo 4-cylinder, a bigger electric motor in the back, and it has 340 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. This is only powertrain here, and this is arguably Toyota and Lexus's best powertrain throughout the world.
Yeah.
It's silky smooth. It's stupid efficient. I just had it on the Sienna. Now the Sienna is a little bit different because it has a bigger battery, but it still uses nickel metal hydride bipolar that this does as well. This just has a slightly smaller battery. But the Sienna, I got 46 miles per gallon with city driving with the family, and I couldn't believe it.
In a minivan.
In a minivan on 20-inch wheels too.
It's a huge vehicle. Like it is really crazy.
Jared, like we've been driving a lot of Lexus products recently, and I don't know if I would pick an RX over this. I don't think I would.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper.
It looks better than an RX.
Yeah, I think it does look better.
It has the same powertrain. It has close to the same level of refinement.
Yes.
Engine might be a tad louder here.
Yep.
A little bit more vibration through maybe the steering wheel, but normal people who don't drive a million cars a year are not going to notice those things.
They'll just notice it is nicer than a RAV4.
You're essentially in a Lexus wagon here that's lifted.
Yeah.
Anyways, we should probably wrap this up. Toyota, hopefully you can make more of these.
Yeah.
But not at the detriment of Lexus, and that's the problem, right? It's just kind of, it's there for options. It's great to have options. I would pick this over an RX. NX is different because you can probably fit it in your garage. This thing is a boat. I don't know how many garages it's going to be able to fit in, but it's long and it's beautiful. Great design, great execution, from the powertrain to the efficiency to the smoothness, the luxury of this. And yeah, we just wish that the Crown Sport came here too.
Yes. So. And the sedan.
Yeah, the rear-wheel drive sedan.
Yes.
We could wish, but we're gonna end it there. Toyota, thanks for sending us out for this event. It's been a lot of fun driving through the mountains here. And make sure to watch my coverage and Jared's coverage over at Car Buzz on all the good driving impressions and the 4Runner reveal, hype buzz, all that good stuff. Yeah. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.